Hi everyone, it's Amy from the Customer Outcomes team here at Typeform. So I'm going to go ahead and get started building out my outcomes quiz for my small specialty florist shop. So we're going to go ahead and give this a name, plant prototype. And I'm creating a quiz. As I'm beginning to build out this quiz, I do want to figure out what my primary functions of this quiz are. What is most important to me is that my audience is sharing an experience with my brand. I also want it to be very conversational, so where I'm changing tones for questions and also allowing options that give my respondents the ability to match my tone or have an option where they don't have to. So since this is an outcome quiz, I'm going to use mostly multiple choice questions so that the outcomes logic is super easy. So we are actually going to start not with a multiple choice, but with a welcome screen. Go on in. Are you ready to meet your new low maintenance best friend? And we are going to update the button. You bet I am. We're also going to add a background image to this slide, kind of welcomes our audience with sort of the theme of the outcome quiz itself. So what I'll do here is I'm going to look into our Unsplash library and I'm going to go with a plant picture. And from here, you can see there's quite a few different options. So I can rotate it, flip it horizontally, flip it vertically, and I can also change the aspect ratio. Also filters, colors, everything like that. So anything to update the photo itself can be done from here. So I'm okay with how it looks. So I'm just going to go ahead and save. And then now we'll get into building the quiz itself. And then after we'll update the design a little bit so you can see that this print a little bit better. Alrighty, so for my first multiple choice question, there are a few things that I do want to know because it does have to do with plants. The first is going to be how much room they have, and then the second will be how much light. So first we'll ask, let's start simple. How much room do you have? And the options will be so much, bit, and barely any. And we will update. We'll also add a photo, so we'll keep that, and then we'll update this. Also, one thing that you can do from here is if you do have images in mind, you can actually drop images. I've actually made this quiz before, so all of my photos are located in the gallery, but just to give you an idea, I'm going to go plant again. And since it has to do with space, let's do a banana plant. I think it's a banana plant. So we'll add that here. Same thing as before. Actually, let's go ahead and rotate this. Save. Nice. Now we're going to add another multiple choice question about the light. This one has to do with light. In your plant's new spot. Direct sunlight. Some indirect sunlight. And mostly indirect, but not a dungeon. And here we'll play with the layout again and move it to the left. And we're actually going to choose a photo that I have previously chosen, which is a succulent. And add that to the left. So I'm not crazy that these are cut off, so what I can do is I can play with it a little bit and see if I can center things. We'll add it a little bit. Okay, not bad. Alrighty, and then on to the next question. So now we can kind of move on to the fun, sillier stuff, which is more of the personality aspect. So where you can really show your respondents and audience, plant lovers, all the same, a peek into your brand itself. So we are going to ask a picture question. And Where can we find you on a sunny Saturday afternoon? And we're going to say outdoors, anywhere, doing anything, parked under a shady spot with a book, and brunch with friends. And now we're going to add photos. So I have already added these photos. So for this one, I'll do this fun adventure photo. Looks good to me. And then for this one in particular, I searched high, I searched low. There isn't really a great picture for the shady spot under a tree, so I uploaded one. And I will add that here. And then the last one, the brunch with friends. I have that one lower down. Perfect. And then for our next question, we're going to ask about a pet. So I've decided not to add a photo to this just because there are already photos added. I don't want to overload it. Personal preference. But so since we're going to add another picture choice, I'm going to ask about a pet. You are getting a pet. Which lucky creature are you taking home? Dog, cat, and fish. Dog. I like the cute one with the flower. Fits into my brand as well. And then for the cat one, we're going to find one with a flower. There we go. And for the fish, I will likely not find one with a flower, but we'll see if we can find a house fish. Oh, I think that's a betta fish. And we'll add that. Okay, and then I'm only going to add 2 more questions, but they will just be regular multiple choice. So for this first one, this is another fun one. So it's Monday at 7:30 a.m. and it's not COVID times. What time to grab a cup of Java? What do you ask the barista for? And this first option will be grande, non-fat, non-fat, no whip, extra sugar, free vanilla, frappuccino delight with sprinkles, and hold the ice and make it unicorn style. Please and thank you. Option 2 will be tea. Pretty simple after that first one. And espresso for the third option. And we are going to add a photo to this one as well, to the left. We'll add this one. And then for our final question, we are going to ask about a schedule. So how are you at keeping a schedule? Great, not great, and I could be better, but I'm not terrible. And we'll add a layout to the right. And we'll add our picture. We'll add this guy. Nice. And now we're going to get to our endings. So for our endings, for thank you screen A, I have chosen cactus, or succulent. In the description, wow, you are lovable, fun, and low maintenance. A cactus will fit right into your routine and won't stop you from chasing the sun. And something we're going to do that's a little bit different is we are actually going to redirect in this link to my checkout page with the cactuses and succulents. So we'll say, welcome to the jungle. And I'm also going to leave the social share icons on, and I will show you why. Show you one of our little updates. So for the second ending, I'm going to do something similar. I'm just going to do the Calathea. And you are pensive, even tempered, low maintenance, but you need a little bit of sun, and you don't like to be smothered with attention or water. And we'll do that same thing for the link. Welcome to the jungle. And we will add a link to the page with the Calathea or the jungle velvet. And for the final screen, it'll be a snake plant. In the description, no light, no problem. Water every few weeks. Sure. You live life however you want, and this plant rules the no to low maintenance world, leaving you to explore it. Oops, to explore the world. Just for it. Yeah, we'll stick with that. And then same thing for the button link. Welcome to the jungle. And linking to the snake plant. And we are also going to add images, but I'm going to add these as, as backgrounds. So edit, and I'm going to go to my gallery because I've already chosen photos that I like. And we will add our cactus here and save. And we'll turn that brightness down just a little bit. We'll do 33. And now we'll be updating our second ending for Calathea. So we'll do a similar layout with that background image. And we'll pick this little guy. And then finally our snake plant. That one looks good to me. Great. And now we're actually going to have a little bit of fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to move into the design panel. So from our talks with Veronica Fuerte, the design is the face of our brand. I do want this Typeform to reflect my brand with the colors, the images, and the general sensation that I want my audience to feel. We've updated a few things in the design panel. So I did switch from the endings to a question just so I can see the button colors changing. So I'm going to jump into design, and we're actually going to add a new theme. So I'm able to create a baseline design that I can apply as a theme to other Typeforms while making small tweaks here and there to make each experience unique. So if I do have a follow-up to this quiz, I can use the same theme, but again, doing those tweaks and making each interaction personal. So for this theme, we'll do plants. And the font that I want to use is the same that is on my website, which will be, we'll say quicksand. That updated automatically. For the questions, of course, black looks great on a white background, but I'm actually going to change my background. So I want my background to be a green, but we're going to make it a little bit deeper. Maybe not. Okay, that's fine. And so for the questions, I'll have them be white. Answers, same thing. Buttons, I'm going to do kind of like a banana yellow. And the button text updates automatically, and it's kind of a dark brown. So for the welcome screen and the endings, I do want them to be centered. And then for the questions, actually, we're going to change the size for the welcome screen, and the endings, we're going to do a large font. And then for the questions, we're going to do a medium font. So I do like how this looks and centered. Now we're going to save this as a theme and jump into the editor to see how it looks. So the white is counteracted a little bit by the background, so I'm going to take down the brightness of that background photo so that it's a little bit clearer. Another thing I can do is also bold. I think that's what I'll do. Not crazy about how that looks, so I'm going to remove the bold. This looks good to me. And then for each of my screens, see how it appears. Looks great. For this, I'm actually going to supersize them. And I'm going to do the same for this one as well, so that the pictures appear larger. And overall, I'm very happy. Let's check the cactus and succulent. Okay, looks good. For this background image, I am going to play with the brightness just a little bit so that the text appears clearer. All right, looks good to me. And snake plant. Great. So now that I am finished with my design, which I can always tweak at any time, I'm going to go ahead and jump into logic. One thing I do want to preface this with is you'll see here on the right that it looks a little bit different. Quick heads up, what you're seeing is actually the logic map, which has been highly requested from the iteration or from our old builder to the new version. It is being rolled out, but it's not fully available yet. I won't be using it today, but in the future, we'll likely do a demo that incorporates it. But for now, we're keeping it pretty simple. We're just jumping to outcome quiz. So you'll set up each response to whatever answer you want them to go to. I kept it, to be honest, really quite simple so that if you're answering mostly A, you'll go to the ending A. If you're answering mostly B, ending B, mostly C, ending C. And the way that we'll do that is we will go through each of the questions and choose where they should go. Ending A, ending B. And then finally ending C. Save. And I'm going to go ahead and just test my logic. We're going to do desktop. And one thing that is quite nice is that I can see, okay, maybe this is a little bit too big. Print looks a little bit funny, so what I'll likely do is go in and bold it. But for now, we'll just do the testing. And if we select mostly A, then we should see that first thank you screen, cactus or succulent. Brilliant. So we're going to jump back. Again, I did just notice quickly that this font looks a little bit funny when it's on the mobile, so I am actually going to bold this and maybe add this to my description instead. And bold it there. Let's see how it looks. Not crazy about that either, to be honest. It actually looks worse. So we'll just pop that back in here. And in the design, for the welcome screen and endings, I'm going to do medium and save that change and see how that looks. A little bit better. Let's try bolding it again. So you can really play around with all of this. It just kind of depends on the experience that you are expecting them to have. Um, so maybe what it means is that I need to choose a new font. For now, we're just going to leave it. But what we're going to do now is, so we tested the logic, and now we are going to go into the connect panel. So with the connect panel, this is where you want to store the data. So because this is an engagement type quiz, I'll want to use this likely for future efforts and interactions. So maybe it could be marketing campaigns or specific ad targeting. So I can use Google Tag Manager, Facebook Pixel, or Salesforce. If you don't see your integration, it's not an issue with quite a few of our advanced third-party apps that you can send your data to over to thousands of other applications. So that's Zapier, Automate IO, as well as Integromat. If you do want us to have a native integration and you don't see it here, please let us know. This is a Typeform. Of course, it goes directly to my team. It doesn't just go into a black hole. It is something that we take into consideration, comes directly to our Slack channel. And for the share, so what I'm going to do first actually is I am going to publish. Oops, I'm going to publish my form, and I'm going to grab this link. So from the share panel, there are quite a few different options that you have for the sharing. It's really dependent on what you want your potential customers and how you want them to interact with your survey. You're not restricted to only sharing this in one place. I'm going to share it to a few different places, to be honest. I am going to embed it in my homepage by having just a standard embed so that when they are scrolling through my homepage, they're able to jump on the quiz right away. Another way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to share it to my 47 Twitter followers. And we're going to tweet. And so from my, if you couldn't tell, I don't know how to use Twitter. So from here, I can see the plant prototype, and I'm actually going to take it. And I actually want a snake plant because they are my favorite plant. So I'm cheating a little bit because of course I know the answer. Submit and snake plant. So this is another thing that I wanted to show you. So you'll notice that I kept the social sharing. So the social sharing is a little bit different in the new builder. So what this now does is this actually gives the ability for your respondents to share their ending, their outcome, whatever they received from your quiz. So what I'll do is I'm going to share, luckily I don't have that many followers, so they won't see me tweeting all these things. So I'm going to tweet my ending. So what you see here is the link that I shared as the creator, so the plant prototype, and then what you'll see here now from my second tweet is actually what the ending that I received. So when someone clicks on that, they're able to take your quiz. So your respondents are now able to share their endings instead of just sharing the link to your form. So something a little bit different, a little bit more fun. And so now we have shared our Typeform. It is out into the world. Just a few final thoughts. So engagement quizzes are a really different and unique way to familiarize customers with your brand. It also means you're getting to know them better and building relationships that go both ways and beyond just promotional emails and sales. It's a conversation that has already helped a bunch of our customers grow a bigger audience, and that sticks around for longer. And that is everything from me. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them below. Thank you. Take care.